Welcome to The Explainer. We hear a lot about AI, but today we're diving into a really fascinating story. It's about how the absolute toughest personal experiences, the kind of stuff that can break a person, can actually become the blueprint for a whole new kind of artificial intelligence. Turning broken into breakthrough. This one phrase, right here, is the soul of an AI ecosystem called True North. And the thing is, this idea wasn't dreamed up in some sterile lab or a fancy corporate meeting. No, it came from a place of real, profound human adversity.
All right, so let's get into this. It's a story of resilience, but it's also a story of incredible innovation. And it all starts with one person, the founder, Jerry Hirschfeld, who literally took the hardest lessons of his life and coded them into an AI that's designed to help, not to harm.
So meet Jerry Hirschfeld. He's the founder, CEO, and Chief Navigation Officer of True North AI. But honestly, the title that really gets to the heart of his work is the Resilient Architect.
He's a systems architect for sure, but he's also a specialist in neuroplasticity, the brain's amazing ability to rewire itself. And that unique combo led him to create a whole new field he calls behavioral AI navigation. His entire mission, his mandate, is a direct response to systems that failed him personally. His goal? To build technology that actually helps, that doesn't cause more harm, by turning his own struggles into solutions that can scale for everyone.
So you have to ask, where did the core design for this AI actually come from? Well, it wasn't from some abstract theory or a bunch of market research. It was literally forged in the fire of intense personal experience. 527. This is not just a random number. This is the number of days Jerry Hirschfeld was homeless, and it was a direct result of major systemic and institutional failures.
Now, during this time, he wasn't just trying to survive. He was actively navigating PTSD, managing an executive function disorder, which messes with your ability to plan and focus, and fighting through these incredibly intense legal battles. But here's the thing that changes everything. Instead of just seeing these as awful setbacks, he did something pretty remarkable. He started treating every single crisis like it was a data point. And that's how he earned this unique credential. 527 days homeless/navigation specialist.
And this is the key. All of that raw, lived experience was systematically turned into something he calls actionable platform intelligence. And look, this isn't just some clever buzzword. It's the literal foundation of the AI's architecture. The pain actually became the platform.
So this deeply personal history led him to a direct and super frustrating showdown with the AI tools that were already out there. He found out pretty quickly they just weren't built for how a real human brain works, especially when it's under pressure.
And this right here gets to the absolute core of the problem he wanted to solve. On the one hand, you've got the typical AI frustrations we've all felt, right? It has no context, it gives you these overwhelming responses, and it puts this huge cognitive load on you, forcing you to explain yourself over and over. But on the other hand, you have the True North principles designed specifically to fix that. A perpetual memory so the context is permanent, a low-friction approach, and most importantly, to minimize the mental burden on you, the user. Okay, so how does all this philosophy and personal history actually get turned into a working system? Well, it's not just one single AI. It's actually a team of specialized agents working together, and it's called the True North AI Council. The whole workflow is incredibly structured, and that's on purpose, to make sure every action stays true to the original goal. So first, an agent called the orchestrator translates what you want into clear, structured prompts. Then the specialized agents, your creative one, your technical one, they get to work. And then finally, another agent acts as the advocate, making sure everything lines up with the core principles before you see any output. This whole process is designed to prevent that random drift and confusion you see in so many other systems.
Think of the council like a dream team. Each agent has a very specific job. You've got the navigator, which is basically the strategist, embodying Jerry's own expertise. You've got Gemini handling all the creative development. DeepSeek is the tech expert, managing all the analytical stuff. And then you have the orchestrator, which acts as the central translator and, importantly, the ethical advocate for the whole team, making sure they all work together perfectly toward your goal.
And guiding this whole team is something called the Sentinel Protocol. Now, the best way to think about this is like an ethical immune system for the AI. It's a direct, digital answer to all those failing systems the founder experienced, and it's designed to make absolutely sure the AI never,
ever repeats those harmful patterns. All right, so the last piece of this whole architecture is, I think, the most revolutionary part. It's not just about what the AI does, it's about how it learns, how it grows, and especially how it remembers. See, in this system, your conversations aren't just disposable chats that vanish into history log. No way. Every single interaction, every correction you make, every little idea you have becomes a permanent brick in the system's architectural blueprint. The dialogue literally is the architecture.
So what this process does is combine two incredibly powerful things: the messy, complex, real-world experience of a human being with the amazing ability of AI to structure and analyze information. And when you put those two together, they create something totally new.
And what comes out of all this back and forth is what's called a shared permanent memory. This creates a brand new, synthesized point of view that's referred to as our voice. I mean, think about it. It's like having a creative partner who remembers every single thought you've ever had, helping you build a perspective that neither you nor the AI could have ever reached on your own.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. The True North ecosystem isn't just about building a better tool. It's really an experiment in embedding real, hard-won human experience right into the code itself. And it leaves us with a pretty provocative question to think about. What if our AI was designed not just to be smart, but to be wise?